Okay, so make sure this thing's cleaned off so I'm nice and crystal clear here. But it looks like we're live on, or just about to be live on Facebook. I want to make sure that I see us before I proceed any further. I hope everybody's doing wonderful out there this Saturday evening. I've been doing a lot of work outside. It says I'm live. Let me double check here, make sure I see me. Hopefully that background noise isn't too much here. I'm going to ask everybody to make sure that you're in some place that you can focus on this presentation. And I'm going to encourage everybody to, I'd like to encourage everybody to have a notepad and something to write with, because what we're going to share today could literally be life-changing. It was for me, that's for certain. And I'm going to ask everybody to, okay, we're all set now. Hopefully everybody can see me nice and clear. My camera looks like it's pretty clean. I'm kind of a pet peeve of mine if the camera's not clean. And anyways, yes, let's get started here. I'm going to go ahead and get this PowerPoint that's been deleted off my computer going again. Welcome everybody. Please put in the comments where you're calling in from or where you're watching from. I know we have people from all around the world. Some parts of the world, it's the day's just getting started. Some parts of the world we're well into their days, and there's parts of the world that we're in the middle of the day. Oh, okay, yeah. So please let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to see. Chime in on the Zoom chat, and then also in the Facebook chat if you could. I'd love to see where our viewers are watching from. People from all over the world. See, Branson. The comments are coming in. Yes, I hope everybody's doing fantastic today. All right, well, my name's Tommy Johnson, and I live in Surprise, Arizona with my beautiful wife, Lindsay. We have 2 children, our son, Jerry, who's 19, and our daughter, Sierra, who's 15. And we've been building a business with this network marketing business model now for quite some time now. Geez, it's closing in on 20 years, 18 years, I believe. And we got into the business kind of like a lot of you may be coming from the perspective of, oh, I don't know about those things, or maybe have some bias against them or whatever. I can relate, because that's how I started into this business. I didn't understand it. There's an old saying that people are down on what they're not up on. There's the chat. Miami, Florida, Saskatoon, what's up? Gray Court, South Carolina, Turner's House, Aurora, Colorado, Miami, Chicago. Hey, Mr. Phoenix, what's up, Angie Ange? Fairfield, California, Lisa. Man, look at people coming. Oh, the Bronx, huh, man? Boy, stay in if you're in the Bronx, especially. I strongly recommend staying in, but we're having fun staying in the house, building this business. And but how we got into it, and I think this is important because a lot of people can probably relate with this. We got into the business 18 years ago trying not to do it. There's an old saying that goes, people are always down on what they're not up on. And I think that's safe to say that that's the category that I fell into. I was down on what I wasn't up on. I wasn't up on something that I didn't understand. And I thought network marketing was one of those things you did if you couldn't do anything else. Oh, those are pyramid schemes and this and that. We've heard people say these type of things. And, really for me, it was just a lack of education, a lack of understanding. It was just ignorance as it related to this particular business. I never had anybody, and most of us, they don't teach it in school. And a lot of us don't know how to analyze these opportunities, and we let our friends' experiences, or we'll get involved in something that we really don't know much about, and either we're not coachable, or the opportunity we didn't know how to pick them, and then we lump them all together, and we miss out on world-class opportunities when they may come across our plate. And that's exactly what almost happened for me 18 years ago. My mom actually was the one who brought it to us. My wife, Lindsay, and I, she was in a point in her life where she was really struggling financially. And I remember thinking, geez, she really hit rock bottom now. She got into one of those things. And, she likes it when I say this, and I think all of us probably would like to hear this from our children a little bit more often, but she was right and I was wrong. I didn't understand that she had made an educated decision based on facts, because from somebody who knew what they were talking about, somebody who knew how to ask the tough questions, somebody who understood it, not a 30-year-old kid like me who thought that I knew it all, and was going to save her from wasting a bunch of time in something that, again, I didn't understand. So I'm encouraging everybody to not make that mistake that I almost made. It would have been detrimental. We built that asset with that first company for almost 15 years, earned millions of dollars along the way. But it allowed us to really get ahead of the current and where the currency was going. And when everybody was buying homes, we were building a business on the side. As a realtor, I was not focused on buying and selling homes during the boom. We were taught by the mentorship that we had to focus on building an asset during those times so that we could be prepared to buy when everybody else was losing or wasn't buying, if you will, losing their homes. Unfortunately, this is the natural cycle. And in real estate, it's the same in any other area, but you watch what the wealthy people do what they do, and you can get what they have. That's just the bottom line. So what happened was I thought I wasn't wealthy, and I wasn't, I was trading hours for money. And the gentleman who I spoke with, who brought my mom into the business, he had what we wanted, and he helped us to change our mindset. And through this business, we were able to set ourselves up and buy a bunch of homes when everybody was losing their homes. We still have most of those. In fact, the closest one is literally right next door. Right, I don't know if you can see that house right there. So I'm sitting outside because it's really nice to get fresh air. If you're in Arizona, or Florida or Texas, someplace, I strongly recommend you doing your work outside. It's just really refreshing, and man, it just feels good. And it's something that I think if it weren't for what's going on, in the world right now, we probably wouldn't have done that. We hadn't been doing that very often. So it's really nice. We're learning a lot, and we're getting better through this. And I hope everybody else sees it that way. Anyhow, here we go. So I'm going to share my screen because I want to explain exactly why, why we've started with a new company and a new opportunity, and hands down, it is the best opportunity I've ever been part of. And of course, you expect me to say that, but we pride ourselves in being serious students of this particular industry. And I'm here to tell you that maybe the greatest thing that we learned in almost 20 years in this business is that they're not created the same. There's dramatic differences in the doability and the sustainability of these different opportunities. And to the uneducated ear, they can kind of all sound the same. But let me tell you, they're not. This company is called BÜÜMERANG, and my wife Lindsay and I, we boomerang. And the idea behind the name is, you throw a boomerang out, you expect it to come back. And the better you get at throwing it, the higher likelihood it is at coming back. Well, you don't even have to get good at throwing this boomerang out. You just, we're throwing out goodwill. You expect goodwill back. It comes back. You throw out, in our case, you'll see what we're throwing out in a few minutes. And what comes back comes flying back into your pockets in the form of cash, and you'll understand it. But before I get any further into talking about money, we have to give the disclaimer. We make no guarantees. BÜÜMERANG makes no guarantees. I make no guarantees. No ambassador of iBoomerang or independent contractor can make any guarantees, because we don't know how coachable you are. We don't know if you'll treat this like a real business or not. But I will tell you that, as cliche as it comes across, there's truly something to be said for being in the right place at the right time. And you'll discover by the end of this presentation that we are in the right place at the right time. And I'll be shocked if you don't decide to come on board with us. I'm tailoring this presentation primarily to the people that are looking at this for the first time. So if you've seen this before, fantastic. But I recommend, doing a watch party or sending this to the people that that you love, because you're going to want them to do this with you. And if they don't want to, that's okay. All we can do is, consider this a first date, right? Why do you go on a first date? To determine if you want to go on a second date. So here we go with the first date. A lot of us don't think we like network marketing, largely for the same reason. We think it doesn't work. And that's partially because it's been the same old thing for so long. It's a 60-plus-year-old industry. And, almost all of the companies sound the exact same, just a little bit different products, but it hasn't changed. It hasn't evolved for so long. And I'll tell you, it is time for it to happen. And thanks to iBoomerang, it has happened. It has not for a long, long time. But as of March 11th, Yeah, March 11th of 2019, the industry changed because that's when pre-launch started with this company. We are just a year old. This company is a baby. So what you're learning about is essentially ground floor. Okay. The infrastructure has been being put in place over the last year, and all of a sudden it's really booming, and you'll understand why. So it does start like any business. It starts with a first-class consumer experience. We want our customers to experience to have an amazing experience. Why? Because then they come back for more. Right? I've never been treated badly in a Apple store. I've never been treated poorly in a Starbucks that I can recall. You know, companies that you hear of that end up becoming the great companies, they have they give first-class consumer experiences. Now we're on our way to giving a first-class consumer experience, customer excellence. And so as fast as we've grown, it's really incredible that we've kept up. But you'll understand why when you look at the management team in a few slides. So now, historically in this business, you had to become a great salesperson. And I can't tell you how many people I've listened to over the years say, man, I can't do that. I'm just not good at sales. You have the gift of gab. I don't, blah, 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 blah. Okay. First of all, everybody's good at sales. If you're married, you've sold somebody. If you're not married, you're selling a lot of people possibly on things. If you have children, you certainly are selling. However, until now, it has been a requirement to succeed in this business is, you have products, so people feel like they have to sell. We educate, but you'll see as we move forward here, we have nothing to sell. What we're doing with iBoomerang is we're taking network marketing from the taxi cab era where customers pay more for a product, and only strong recruiters, people who end up, learning how to recruit and, bringing on business partners, only they win. And I've said for 18 years that recruiting is a highly paid skill in our business, but it's been a required skill in order to make any money of any significance until iBoomerang launched. We officially launched on September 1st of 2019. So again, we're just a baby, but here's where you're going to see how we are just different. We use the hashtag just different. You're going to discover in the next few slides that that's an understatement. I'm encouraging you to stick with me here because, again, this is way different. Don't lump them together and miss out on something world-class just because you assume, like the mistake I almost made. And again, I almost made it for a second time with iBoomerang when I assumed. And then I started digging in, got my nose onto the trail. And once it was down, I couldn't get it off pick my nose up because it just kept getting better and better and better. The more we learned, the tougher our questions got. And that hasn't been the case for us over the last several years in this business. We declined over 100 network marketing opportunities because, the tougher our questions got, the less interested we became in the opportunities. Because again, they're not created the same and there's dramatic differences. I'm just making sure that I'm still live as I'm moving forward, because I see a lot of people messaging, but I can't read the messages. So I just want to make sure that, okay, it looks like we are. Well, maybe not. Did we lose? Did I get dropped in the chat on here? Let me double check. Ohio, just different. Yes, we sure are, Christina. Okay, I'm going to make sure on the chat here that I didn't get dropped. If I got dropped, I'm just going to make one last effort to get back online. If it doesn't work, then we'll just stay on the Zoom and encourage your friends to go from the Facebook Live. No, we're still live. Okay, good. Sorry about that. All right, so we've gone from the taxi cab era into the modern era, with the Uber era, if you will. Make money only when customers save money. Now think about that. Who else has built a business on monetizing savings? Have you ever heard of that before? Have you ever seen that in this industry? No. I have so many people that I hear say, that very experienced networkers that keep saying the same thing. I've never seen this before. I've never seen that before. And it's not because they're not in the game or they're not aware of what's going on out there. It's because it's never happened before. In fact, I have to show you guys this. I even started the other day. I started it sounds too good to be true counter. And this is a picture of just adding another notch just the other day. I wish I would have started it, 12 months ago when we got into iBoomerang, but just started it a few months back. And I put another one every time I hear it sounds too good to be true. Well, let me tell you this, it's not too good to be true. It is true. And, but sounding like it's too good to be true is not a reason to not continue to due diligence. It could cost you a lot, could cost you freedom that you deserve. So we make money when people save money, and it starts with a technology. And we are a technology company. Essentially, what we're building with this company is a digital Amazon.com. Okay, but the company provides the technology for us, the ambassadors, the independent contractors, or distributors, if you will, to succeed. All right. Now, like any business, it starts with the leadership. Who's at the helm? The first thing that I've been taught to look for in this business or any business is look at the 20-year track record of the people behind the company. Well, let's just look at a few years of this, our incredible visionary, and a guy who I've been mentored for. Many people have been mentored from afar for years. I had studied this guy, Mr. Bugs, for over a decade, and have been enamored by what he's accomplished, because he's done things in this industry that nobody's even come close. I mean, not even close. He's a record holder, and his records are, the best of my knowledge, are so much further ahead of the closest second that I've always wondered, how could he be that much better? Now, he was an ambassador, just like me, just like you have the opportunity to do, for his entire network marketing career, until a year and, a couple of months, or a year this month, not even 13 months ago, he launched this company called BÜÜMERANG. So from 1990, for his first 7 years in the business, he never earned more than $500 a month, but he didn't quit. Think about that. That shows, to me, incredible emotional stamina and determination and grit and, gumption. But he said that he never looked at how small his team was or how small the income was. He looked at how big the information was. In 1997, he developed a formula and a system to achieve rapid success. Now, let me tell you what he did over the next 10 years. He went from, in a 10-year window of time, he had record-breaking earnings. He earned over $100 million as an ambassador. That everyone has the same opportunity, but he's different. Significantly different. In my first 15 minutes of getting to know Holton, or being able to spend some time with him, there was no question in my mind that his success did not happen by accident. And the reason I was even more impressed than somebody might be that doesn't understand this industry is having had, the luxury, if you will, the blessing of great mentorship along the way to help condense our learning curve. And it's too costly to make your own mistakes. By great networkers made me really appreciate and realize how incredible this visionary and how big of a thinker Mr. Bugs was, and how different he was. He's a study of human nature, and he has a gift. His gift, he has a lot of gifts, but one of them is his ability to really create an environment where people can succeed without having to make adjustments to human behavior, just the way they are. People can succeed. He says the industry's broken, not people. People are just fine the way they are. And he knows how to give us an opportunity like nobody I've ever seen. And the results are definitely indicative of his ability to do just that, especially now as a CEO and founder and not just a distributor. Okay. So he supported over 45 people to become millionaires. Now think about how many 100,000-aires, 200,000-aires, $500,000-aires, who knows? Just an incredible number of people along the way. In this business, if you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want. March 2019, he launched what is hands down the most anticipated launch of any company in the history of this industry, BÜÜMERANG. He didn't do it alone. He assembled an incredible team. Right beside Mr. Bugs is T. Gray, our Vice President of Operations. Here's a gentleman that has been a 7-figure earner in corporate America, but also a 7-figure earner in the field as an ambassador in this industry, and happens to have been mentored by Mr. Bugs himself to do that. So very rarely do you see somebody so capable on the corporate side and in the field and able to teach like this guy. He's the right guy for the job. No questions asked. Hands down, he's incredible. I'm a huge fan of T. Gray. I'm also a huge fan of Mr. Kithcart right beside the VP of Marketing. Why? Look how nice this PowerPoint looks. Okay. The PowerPoint alone is incredible. This guy's incredible. Well, so happens he packed his family up, moved from Northern California to Houston, Texas, as soon as he heard of Holton Bugs launching the company, because he knows of Holton Bugs' track record. And by the way, he walked away from a very lucrative position in with a company, coming here with no guarantees, except the fact that track record is everything. The company is only good as the people behind it. Mr. Bugs is the sole owner of this company, and his track record is second to none, I would never bet against this guy. He's a massively big thinker, and he thinks bigger than anybody that I've ever met and any founder that I've ever listened to in this industry. Just do your diligence. Go to YouTube and type in Holton Bugs. Okay. You'll see what I'm talking about. And iBoomerang. So Mark Cathcart, right guy for the job, packed up, moved here. He too is a multiple six-figure earner in the field as an ambassador who was also mentored by Mr. Bugs. So they understand the philosophies, the cultures that makes him so much different. They don't have to spend years learning that. They already know it. Now they're taking it to another level and have partnered up with this as, the executive, a virtual dream team. David Manning on the far right, the CEO of Extreme Travel. Well, our door opening product is travel. Guess what? Travel is the largest product in the world, over $7 trillion. It's massive. It's not going anywhere. It may be on hold for a moment, but trust me when I tell you, after every single major crisis there's been Y2K, 9/11, Ebola, SARS, every time, guess what bounced back the quickest and the strongest and had record-breaking years? That's right, travel. Well, David Manning, as the CEO of Extreme Travel, he's been doing this for a minute. 19 years, he built one of the largest travel companies in the privately held travel space, where a private booking travel space. The secret, the best way to book travel, if you have the means, or if you're aware of it. So he's built the relationships all around the world in this travel space. He knows it, he gets it, and he is the CEO of Extreme Travel, and Holton purchased a part of that company and is partnered with the travel piece, which is one component of iBoomerang. You'll understand in a minute. Peter Hirsch, bottom left, just research this guy. Peter Hirsch, our chief giving officer. Well, he's giving a lot more than just, feeding starving children all around the world and other things that this company is doing. That's incredible from a, philanthropic standpoint. But Mr. Hirsch is a very well-respected attorney. He graduated the very, very top of his class at the most prestigious, just Google it. You'll see what I'm talking about. Google him, look where he went to college and graduated at the top of his class in law school. Well, he's a very well-respected attorney in the MLM space. When I found out he was aligned with this company, I was shocked, instantly intrigued. Mr. Haynes, well, he's our fearless leader. He is the global master ambassador, the GMA, meaning he's the first distributor to come into the company. He was Holton's biggest building leg in the company, where Holton earned over $100 million. He has been mentored by Holton as well. And let me tell you, he's the best master distributor, or GMA, that I've ever worked with. He's the best I've ever seen. And he's becoming a great friend, and I'm learning a ton from him. And you have that same opportunity. The nature of this business model is this team works for you, not the other way around, like your job. That's the real pyramid. This is where we work for you, and you have the opportunity to out-earn the people that bring you into it. So it's a level playing field, the contrary to what everybody thinks. Everything else is what we think it is. This is different. Way different. Lori Spears, she's the director of travel. She is communicated all around the world. She's asked to speak all around the world in the travel space. She sits on boards. She's been mentored by Mr. Manning as well. Worked with worked for Extreme Travel for quite some time. We got her. Getting Lori Spears as part of this executive team is amazing and will serve you very well. So you're looking at a dream team right there that you have the opportunity, who's building this opportunity and making it better for us on a daily basis. So how do we bring the vision to the world? It starts with the first of its kind. This is Holton's brilliance. This is his, he came up with this idea called the perpetual residual income builder. Look up the word perpetual. Never ending. It never stops. Residual, the best kind of money. Robert Kiyosaki says $1 residual income is equivalent to 3 earned dollars. Why? Because it has freedom attached to it. The money keeps coming in. In our previous company, we didn't work it for the last three and a half years for all intents and purposes. But guess what? The money kept coming in, because the secret to wealth is a concept called leverage. Archimedes said, give me a long enough lever and I can move the world. America's first billionaire, I believe it was J. Paul Getty, said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts as opposed to 100% of my own. The perpetual residual income builder is something that works for you. It's the ultimate business partner. Why? It's a combination of data analytics, okay, and artificial intelligence. It's like Amazon. So this company uses an Amazon approach, or an Amazon philosophy, as you will, to keep our customers for us. The objective of business is to get and keep customers. The network marketing industry has failed miserably at it. What company has done a very good job at getting and keeping customers? The fastest growing company in the history of the world. A company that is a technology company that doesn't own anything. that has nothing to sell. It's called Uber, okay? We use an Uber approach, you'll see in a moment, to gather customers. And the company uses an Amazon philosophy or an Amazon approach to keep our customers and to turn them into appreciating assets. They use a combination of data analytics. This Prib to iBoomerang is like Siri is to Apple or Alexa is to Amazon. You'll see soon, it is always listening and helping your consumers or your customers make better decisions and get what they're looking for and have it be brought to them to save them time. So the areas where their money is already spent, we'll bring to them through the Prib. And you'll see how in just a moment, there's different verticals or different services through our ecosystem that make their lives better and do it in a professional and tasteful manner that will cause them will give us the opportunity to earn their trust, to gain their trust, and then continue to use our other verticals. And you'll make money from every single one of them, and you don't have to sell them anything. The Prib will work for you while you're sleeping. It will work for you all of the time using what nobody else in this industry has figured out how to use effectively: data analytics and artificial intelligence and world-class people power. You know, high tech and high touch. High tech without high touch is high disaster. Okay, what will the Prib do for you? A few things. Your customers, it will sell them. It will sell your customers our different products and services based on their search habits, what they're looking for at a greater value than they can find anywhere else. It will follow up with them, something nobody likes to do in this industry. I know this because the numbers tell the story. We failed miserably at doing follow-up. Why? Because we're usually trying to sell people something that they wouldn't consume otherwise, that we're hoping they'll consume, that we're hoping they'll have benefits with, that we're hoping that they are compliant with using it effectively, that we're hoping they'll have a personal experience or a testimony that they can go out and share. But we're afraid to follow up with them because we're afraid they'll use that as an opportunity to cancel. Oh, Mary, yeah, sorry. I'm so glad you called. We've been meaning to cancel that. Why? They're paying more for something that they can go get up the road, either the same products or something similar for the same price, for significantly less, or they can go on these days on Amazon and buy the exact same product from a disgruntled distributor or ambassador that's looking to offload their product for pennies on the dollar. Buy the same exact thing for less. Money matters, cost matters, and it will upsell them to our different services. It works for you, and you make money from all of that. You don't do the work, the Prib does the work. You just gather the customer. You'll see how in a moment. With your team, if you decide you want to be a recruiter as well, you don't have to. For the first time in the history of the industry, you don't have to. But if you decide to, the Prib will welcome them. It will give them an onboarding orientation. It will train them. So the training doesn't get lost in translation down through the group. You know, the big fish story keeps, changes sizes with everybody that tells it. That's the same thing that happens. And then you have all these distributors telling different stories, these different teams saying, my system, your system, this system, that system. There's harmony. I know the value in that. I've been around this long enough to recognize that this is a dream come true, okay? The Prib will train them, bring the exact same words, the people that come into your team and halfway around the world, in their language, it will give them the same words that it shares with you. That whether they're on your first level, second level, 20th level, whether you ever talk to them, they're hearing the exact same thing. Brilliant, okay? It will upgrade your team to where they have greater opportunities to make more money. And in the process, help you to earn more money. It will get them to events, which are the game changers. Leaders are born at events, okay? There's an old saying, and I've watched it to hold 100% true. Not everybody that goes to events gets rich, but everybody who does get rich goes to events, okay? It will retain. Remember the objective of business, get and keep customers. I talk to people in this industry every single day that say, I just can't keep my customers in. I had a friend recently tell me that, Tommy, the problem with iBoomerang is I can't keep customers. And I thought, what? And he said, yeah, they all want to become ambassadors. And I think you'll understand why here in just a moment. So the Prib does for people what they've struggled to do for themselves in this industry from the beginning all the way up until now with iBoomerang. So the front door to our Prib. So there has to be a door, right? It has to start with some product, in the economic potential of any business or our individual, businesses is the economic potential of the product or service. We use a platform that we call iGo. It stands for I Go for Less. And guess what it does? It brings discounted travel to people, okay? Whether people like to travel or not, they do it. They don't have to learn how to talk about it. They already know how. It's how where we create some of our most incredible memories in our lifetime. We don't have to learn about any ingredients. We don't have to hope that, that gets manufactured. There's an endless supply of our product. And people by default know how to talk about it, but they also are good at what iGo does by default, saving money. Now they're going to have a better opportunity to save more money on doing something they're already doing. We're not selling anything. In just 12 short months, we have well over 500,000 customers already. Okay. That's the door opener to the Prib. That's how we bring people in. So we don't have to learn how to talk about it. Remember, it's brilliant because simplicity gives traction. Confusion doesn't. Okay. I've worked with a single product category in this industry, and I've worked with a catalog full. The catalog full was much more challenging. So travel's not going anywhere. It's not a product that is here today or gone tomorrow. It's not a novel idea. It's real. Now, here's the reality of booking travel. And, here's our three options: retail, going straight to the Hilton or straight to, to Hertz rental car or whatever. The second way, and this is a sneaky little secret that I was unaware of, it is the public aggregator sites that we're all familiar with. Why are we familiar? They advertise publicly and they bring it to us. They're allowed to advertise publicly in this space. Now, what they aren't allowed to do is offer the pricing that the third way to book travel does. And that's the membership only, where you have to log in, and it's private and you can't sell the data. See, the sneaky little secret in the aggregator space is that all of these companies we're familiar with, rentalcars.com, OpenTable, Agoda, Booking.com, Kayak, Travelocity, they're all owned by two companies, Booking Holdings and Expedia Group. So literally, I've spent hours over the years opening up 10 browsers trying to find the best deal, unknowingly that I'm chasing my tail. And they have a vested interest in keeping us on there. Why? Because then we select more filters and more different sites, and they collect more data, and then they sell the data. That won't happen here, okay? Even if our prices were the same, to me, what's your time worth, okay? Our prices are better. But even if they were the same, what's your time worth? And do you really want your data sold? I don't. So these two companies have controlled this space. Look at this is an $8+ trillion industry. It's the largest product in the world. We pass the savings on to our customers. So there's no markup. As an ambassador, we pay the same price that the travel company pays. iBoomerang doesn't make a dime from our travel. So the savings is the earnings. Here's some examples for an ambassador. Let's look on Expedia. New York City 4.5 star, $339 per night on Expedia. Okay, most people would pay that. That's all they know. Here on iGo platform, that same hotel room, same dates, no blackout dates, no nothing, the same exact room, $178 a night. Unless you just want to throw $161 away every single night, why would anybody book? Because they didn't have an option. They only had Expedia as the best price as an option until now. Unless you were one of the 1% that's familiar with that third way to book travel, and you already were a member of like people pay $5,000 to $30,000 to have access to this type of pricing. Not here. You'll see the prices in a few minutes. Here's an actual reservation that was booked. Dear Ruben, we blocked up the last name for privacy. The total cost of your reservation was $450. And you earned 510 reward credits. Every time you book in our platform, you get reward credits, and you can use them to do anything in our platform. So let me set this straight. You save money. At the same time, you acquire reward credits that you can use for future travel. I mean, talk about a win-win. And the savings right there, this person realized it was $1,341. Look at this. I mean, that's a lot of money. Paris, France, 4-star, $440 a night on Travelocity, $131 a night on our platform. This person saved $316 and earned 695 reward credits on this reservation. On the far right, this is our CEO booking his reservation. Above that, by the way, rentalcars.com, $392 for a car, the exact same car, $221 on our platform. I mean, people just didn't have access to this. It's kind of like Uber. Until Uber came around, people just used yellow cab and taxi. And then a technology came around and said, hey, look, we make transportation more convenient, more fun, and less expensive. And, our prices are better than yellow cab or taxi. And then people started booking Uber. We're essentially Uber of travel. Okay. Now people have access to better pricing on a huge scale. Holton Buggs, our CEO, saved almost $1,600 on this trip. Same trip, same room, same pillows, same everything. Okay. He earned almost 1,700 reward credits, and the savings was more than the reservation. Now, it's a lot more than just hotels and rental cars. We have cruises, the pricing is unbelievable. Homes, that's like Airbnb. And we have hundreds of thousands of homes all over the world. I was just showing my son's basketball coach some of the savings on weeks just a couple of hours ago. You can book your flights here, and you get reward credits every time when you book the flights, and you can use the reward credits for flights. There's no savings on flights because the airlines don't give savings to anybody, but sometimes it's actually less because we don't mark ours up, but you get reward credits always. The marketplace, you can bid on places. You can put your places on there and have them be bid on. You can buy and sell timeshares, and the list goes on. Shore excursions, theme parks, outdoor activities, shopping rewards, golf, wine clubs, gift cards, restaurant savings. We've saved hundreds of dollars eating right here in our hometown. Worldwide tours, emergency travel services, and we have a price guarantee. If somebody finds it cheaper, they book on our platform, they find it cheaper online anywhere, guess what? We'll match it. We'll give 110% of the difference as a guarantee. Who does that? For the first time, I'm representing a product or a service that does what it says it's going to do every single time. And we allow 5-star lifestyle at 3-star prices virtually every single time. You choose. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Here's an example of how you can help build what happens when you build a customer base. Now, as an ambassador of BÜÜMERANG, let's say that you went on to book this trip right here. Look on the far left side of the page, and you're booking this trip to Cancun. You would see, let's just say 40%, a 40% discount over what you could book it anywhere else. Gosh, great savings, right? You would see $1,046 is the public price. Your price with tax and everything would be $621. Okay, you're happy, but guess what? Let's say that I was, as an ambassador of BÜÜMERANG, I decided, hey, my neighbors are going to be booking travel. I want to bring my friends with me, or I know people are booking travel. I want to give them a boomerang. Okay, that's what you throw them out a free customer booking site. Free. Okay, let me be clear. Free. There's no cost to the customer. No cost, not today, not tomorrow. Sounds a little bit like the fastest growing company in the history of the world. But what if you're throwing out Uberangs? What if they said, hey, Mike, go out and give a bunch of these things, these little new apps that make transportation more convenient, go give them to as many people as you want. And guess what? Once you give them to them, they're connected to you for life. And every time they use our service to book for transportation instead of yellow cab or taxi, we're going to pay you. We're going to give you 50% of what they saved. And we're going to guarantee they're going to save money when they use it. How many Uberangs would you throw around? Okay. As many as you could. Why? Because Uber customers don't quit. Why don't they quit? Free to get, free to keep, brings value to their life, more convenient, more fun, less expensive. You don't have to learn about how to take transportation. You just need to do it. And when you have a better way, you use it. What if you could be paid? In hindsight, how many Uberangs would you give away? Put it in the chat. How many Uberangs would you give away? I want to know, how many Uberangs would you throw out to people if you could be paid 50% of what they saved, and they were guaranteed to save money every time they use Uber? And guess what? Well, let me take it a step further. Let's say that rideshare was the door opener to their Prib. And then they were going to bring Uber Eats and Uber this and Uber that, and but you don't have to do that. The Prib does that for you. Every time they eat, you make money. How many Uberangs would you go give to people? What we're doing here, folks, is like having 2020 foresight. That's why I have so many people saying it sounds too good to be true. Thank you, Mr. Bugs, for this opportunity. That sounds too good to be true, right? The reality is it's true. Okay. So you throw out these boomerangs and look over here. You see now when your customer, go to the 20% right there where it says customer platform on the left, right next to the one that says 40%, 41%. Now you give your customer a boomerang. Oh, here, Martha, I know you're coming up with travel. I want to give you this. It's a gift from me to you. You're going to see up to 35% off savings on all your travel, on all these different things, restaurant savings, all these different things. And it's free. Now, your customer is going to go on and look at that same trip to Cancun, and they're going to see a 20% discount. They're happy. Where's the money come from? Well, the trip costs from the vendor, cost the travel company, our travel company, and any travel company for that matter. Let's just say, in this case, $621, because no money's made on it. We're paying wholesale. Everybody buys from the same vendors, but the retail customer, they don't get, the people that are buying on are buying from anywhere else or buying from the aggregator sites, they're not seeing wholesale pricing. They're seeing slightly better than the retail pricing. They're seeing the public prices. The prices after they spend billions of dollars in advertising to get you to go to their websites. So let's say that same trip that we see for 621, they're going to see, as you see in this case, 1,046 if they go to the public sites. But if you give them a boomerang, they're going to see 50% of the price that you saw. And in this case, it's a $212 savings. So they're going to see $834. They're happy. They just saved $212. You're happy. You just saved your friend $212, but it came back. It boomeranged back in the form of cash into your pocket as a travel savings bonus, $160, $106. Win, win, win. Oh, and by the way, if you decide you want to build a team too, we put some of their savings, 35% of that customer savings, into a pool that gets shared amongst all the people building the team through a compensation plan. So that's what that $74 is. So you don't have to build a team. You could just go throw boomerangs out to everybody, as many people as you want. Never sponsor a single person and end up building an empire. Now, it's unbelievable. Let me give you an example of a customer acquisition model. Let's just say you gathered 10 customers. The first thing we teach our ambassadors to do is go get 10 customers. Okay. It's easy to do. Watch, here's how hard it is. 10. Who wouldn't take a free customer site to save money? Who wouldn't take an Uberang, or better yet, a boomerang, because travel is infinitely bigger than transportation. Okay. So nobody would say no to that. So we estimate our customers will save about $600 a year. They'll travel about once a year. They'll use our platform, save $600. We need a little more data to determine that exact number, but let's just use that it's an educated guess. But that means if you would put half that in your pocket, which is $300, that's $3,000 just from 10 customers that would boomerang back in. Who couldn't use an extra $3,000 and save our friends $6,000? I mean, who's not good at helping people save money if you have the opportunity? We tell people about it. We built Facebook by telling people about it and didn't get paid a dime. Okay. So you can build a team if you want. Let's just say you build a team of 50. That doesn't mean you go get 50. You tell 10. We sign up 5 who get a few, whatever. Now you got 50. They get 10, and they get 10 of their own customers each, which I have people on my team that already have over 1,000 customers. Okay. We're just lowballing here. And that would give an average savings of $600 for 500 customers. That would be a customer volume of $575. See the boomerang coming back over here to you at a 10% pay override of all of that with $58. That's an average monthly income of $1,726, an average annual income to $20,712. That's not including your own customers. And your own 10 customers, that's 6,000. What if you go get 100 customers? Get as many as you want. But once they're off the market for good. Okay. Now, what's one of the fastest growing segments in the travel industry? Rideshare. Everybody's familiar with it. I talked about it plenty on this presentation. Rideshare. Now, imagine if every single time you saw the Lyft light or an Uber sticker in the car window, you wondered, hey, I wonder if they're in my group. And I wonder what my override is. I wonder what that fare is going to be, because I'm going to get paid on every single ride that's given, because there's a commission paid on every ride. Okay, look how beautiful this branding is. That is not a fake car. That is one of the Vibe ride mobiles that is live in Florida, because on April 1st, this new concept of rideshare, our company, Vibe Ride, goes live in Florida and in Texas. Okay. Now, remember the PRIB, the door opener is travel. You don't have to talk about Vibe Ride. You don't have to learn rideshare. Because we already know travel. That's the door opener, okay? Then the PRIB brings to them with data analytics and artificial intelligence, teaches them about the Vibe Ride, and incentivizes them in the different markets that we open to use it. The company pays for that, not us. It keeps the customer. Now that same customer is now using our rideshare. Guess what? You get paid every time they take a ride. Okay, so the money goes into your pocket, but the PRIB did all the work to get the customer for you, and to bring the different vertical to your customer, the different service, and upgraded them, and helped them now your customer now became an appreciating asset. Not only do they stay, but they go up in value. Okay, who knows what the next verticals, but there's plenty more coming. I have some suspicion, but even if we never had more than what we have right now, just the transportation industry, $1.2 trillion is bigger than all of network marketing. We're not comparing ourselves to network marketing companies. Holton's comparing this to the Amazons, to the Ubers of this world, to the Googles. This is no joke. And you are looking at it in the absolute very beginning, the infancy in the ground phases. Rideshare industry, $24.4 billion. Look at the numbers. You know, you can't run from the numbers. Now, three ways to earn. You earn when people drive. So every time that you could go out and tell a friend who wants to be a driver. My son may be a driver. You can tell your friends who are drivers already. You can be in a ride, tell the driver about this. Guess what? They're going to do it. Why? Because all Uber drivers are also Lyft drivers. And Lyft drivers are Uber drivers. And they can become a Vibe driver too without quitting that job. They just have more opportunity here because they can be paid on giving their rides, and they'll be treated, they'll get their dignity back. They'll be treated great. And they'll also have the opportunity to build, like you will, if they choose, to build their own fleet of drivers. Tell their other driver friends, guess what? Now, every time their drivers give a ride, they get paid on the drive. And if it's their rider, they get paid on the ride too. So your customers now become Vibe riders without even being drivers. And every time they take a ride, you get paid because you earn when people drive, you earn when you drive if you decide, and you earn whenever customers ride. Let me give you an example. We're gonna use a $100 fare breakdown as the example for simplicity. I know the average fare is not $100, it's about 15, but let's just use this for simplicity, okay? Whenever a ride is taken, first of all, a meal is fed to a starving child through our Boom Foundation. Every time a new customer becomes a customer on iBoomerang, a meal is fed to a starving child. We have a goal of literally eradicating child starvation. Why should people get wealthy while their children starving to death? That's Holton's, that's right out of Mr. Bug's mouth. I love that, okay? Listen, $75 would go to the driver for every drive that's given. In this case, $3 would go to the person that told the driver about it, they became a free driver. Okay, free, and they're driving for Vibe Ride now too. The company does all the work through the Prib. You just told them about it. They took a code for free, became a driver, and you get paid every single time they give a drive. $3, 3%. Okay, and then another 3% goes into the drive share pool, which is the network marketing compensation plan. So the only thing network marketing about iBoomerang is if people chose to build a team, they have an opportunity to earn overrides on the savings of all their team's customers as well. I mean, this is unbelievable. Now, on the flip side here, every time you give a rider here, hey, take a Vibe ride, it didn't cost anything, become a Vibe rider, you download this app, they become your rider. Every time they take a Vibe ride, they'll take Vibe over Uber. Why? Because they get to choose their Vibe. They get to select the music genre through the app. They get to select, if they want to talk they get to select, what they want the temperature in the car to be. And a meal the starving child gets fed every time they choose Vibe over any other option. Oh, and by the way, if they're a female, they can select girl power and only have a female driver if they want. If they're a female driver, they can select girl power and only have female rides as options on that night or at that time. Brilliant. Competitive advantages are significant. The rider that you give, guess what? 3% is paid out to the referrer who got the rider. How many riders are you going to go get? They're free and they're connected to you for life. And then 3% goes to the pool. Do you Boomerang? I hope so. Now imagine this. This is coming in the very near future. It's ahead of us, which tells you about timing. Everybody will have their own QR codes. Hey, wear it on your shirt, have it on napkins. If you're a bar owner, give the napkins out, get people, discounted ride share and take Vibe Ride and earn money after the bar closes, all right? What if you're a college student? Put this on your car. What if you're a driver? Get the business card, put it on a business card, or anybody. Go out and give it every time. Boop, they become your customer. Boop, they become your driver. Every time a ride's given, boop, they become your iGo. Every time they book travel, you say you make money. This is a hot knife through butter. I mean, seriously. Whoa, my dog just knocked my light down, scared him to death. Okay, all right. So now we have an addition to our compensation plan called the Fast Start Accelerator Bonus. It's unbelievable. I got a pay raise last week, 30%. The week before that, another pay raise. Just keeps happening because this new accelerator bonus. Everybody you sign up, you get 15% of their initial sign up. I won't get into exactly how this works because I don't want to put the cart before the horse. Just know that this is the most lucrative compensation plan there ever has been in this industry, bar none. An actual 85% payout on all of the savings realized by customers. An actual 60% payout through the compensation plan, not a theoretical one, okay? This thing is highly lucrative. You earn overrides on everybody that comes into your group if you decide to build a team in addition to the customers. But you don't have to. So you don't have to sell anything. You don't have to present. When you become an ambassador, you get access to what's called an I Decide interactive presentation that does the presenting for you better than any tool I've ever seen in this industry. Not even a close second. That's part of the plan. Why? Because the guy who started this company is the best in the world. And he knows how to create the best systems in the world. He's already proven it. And that wasn't even his baby. He was just an ambassador. This is his baby. So everything he does, best in the world, proven, no questions asked. Okay. Unbelievable track record. And he's given us this opportunity. Oh, another way that you get to earn. Another way that we get to earn. Thank you, Kithcart. Another way that we earn is every single person that comes in on your team, you get a left and a right. You put them on the left or the right. And whichever side is your lesser side in a given week, you get an extra 10 to 20% on top of all these other ways to earn. So costs $49.95 to become to buy a standby position. Now, that doesn't get you on board, but it does get you access to some pretty incredible things, including that I Decide interactive presentation. And then you buy a ticket. You decide, do I want to come in coach class, business class, or first class? Well, have you ever flown first class before? If you haven't, I am here to tell you it's the only way to fly. You get 10 boomerangs, 25 boomerangs, or 50 boomerangs. That's customers, 10, 25, or 50. You have plenty of opportunities to gather more boomerangs to get more customers, but that's what you start out with. You get the highest discount on hotels, flights, and rental cars at Coach. You add cruises to that at business class. You add the weeks, the marketplace, the lifestyle, the timeshare, the things we talked about earlier, all at first class. The savings exceed the cost of being in business. A one-time cost of $1,000 to start a business and then $99 a month subscription that you can earn enough to pay for in no time if you're coachable and treat it like a business. I mean, this is a hot knife through butter. You earn 5% more through the dual team. That's the left or the right side than at first class when you do coach class. But do what you're comfortable with because you get to upgrade. You have 60 days to upgrade to whichever class you want and only pay the difference. Just get started. Get back with the person who invited you to this. And if you have any Spanish speaking friends, jump on the next webinar. It starts right now. I'm going to sign off and the Spanish presentation is going to start. Share it with people and let's go boomerang together. Get back with a friend who invited you and get your spot on the tree before somebody else does. Signing off. Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.